a strange small object that we just flew by, a small silver canister. Do you know what that could be?
49er Kilo, we've had no reports in that area. What altitude and direction is it heading?
It appears to be standing still. I'm at 3,500 feet. It was right off our wingtip. Small silver canister.
Roger, thanks. Do you think it's a drone or is it like a balloon type?
I saw nothing attached to it. It was sort of hovering there. It was astonishing. I don't know what it was.
Creepy.
I want to believe. 25, Canister, 42. Good luck with the aliens.
That was a commercial pilot at 3,500 feet over Rhode Island. He just radioed air traffic control about something hovering right off his wingtip. A small silver canister, stationary, no attachments. Nothing he could explain. And here's what makes incidents like this different now. Recently, the FAA updated federal regulations. Air traffic controllers are now required by law to report pilot UAP sightings to national security. Not recommended, required. This isn't fringe territory anymore. This is federal protocol. Incidents like this one are exactly why the regulation exists. Let me play you the full exchange.
64 for lessening 310.
310, show 684. It's a strange small object that we just flew by, a small silver canister. Do you know what that could be?
49er Kilo, we've had no reports in that area. What altitude and direction is it heading?
It appears to be standing still. I'm at 3,500 feet. It was right off our wingtip. Small silver canister.
Roger, thanks. Do you think it's a drone or is it like a balloon type?
I saw nothing attached to it. It was sort of hovering there. It was astonishing. I don't know what it was.
Creepy.
I want to believe.
Chronos 402, contact approach on 125.75.
25, Canister, 402. Good luck with the aliens.
84, clear visual approach on 823, contact tower.
Clear for vision 23 over tower, 6342.
Okay. 503, sir, Papa, Alpha 0 correction traffic, you're following 6 mile left base, up your E175, go showing turbulence.
Following the E175, see looking for the traffic, 503, sir, Papa.
Let's break down what just happened. A pilot flying a Piper Lance over Providence, Rhode Island, encounters something at 3,500 feet, right off his wingtip. He describes it as a small silver canister. When air traffic control asks if it could be a drone or a balloon, he's definitive. I saw nothing attached to it. It was sort of hovering there. Then comes that word, astonishing. The pilot can't explain what he just saw. And then the air traffic controller responds with one word, creepy. That is not standard radio protocol. That's a trained professional acknowledging that what the pilot just described doesn't fit any known category. Now, here's why this matters. Pilots are among the most credible witnesses we have for unexplained aerial phenomena. They're trained observers. Their entire career depends upon correctly identifying objects in the sky by silhouette, speed, altitude, and behavior. Their lives depend on it. So, when they report something unusual, you listen. This pilot couldn't explain what he saw, and that's the problem the FAA finally acknowledged. For years, pilots were reporting objects they couldn't identify, but there was no formal system to track these incidents. No requirement to pass them up the chain. That changed when the FAA implemented mandatory UAP reporting in October of 2025. Now, every pilot report goes directly to the National Tactical Security Operations Team. From there, it feeds into the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, the same office that just documented 757 new UAP cases. But here's what's really interesting. This silver canister, it fits a pattern. Cylindrical objects are one of the most commonly reported UAP shapes by commercial and military pilots. Not flying saucers, not triangles, cylinders. In the Pentagon's latest data, cylindrical and spherical objects make up a significant portion of pilot reports. Some are described as pill-shaped, others as elongated canisters. Almost all share one characteristic. They appear to be hovering or moving in ways that defy conventional propulsion. So let's talk about that hovering. At 3,500 feet, this object was stationary. No visible means of support. No wings, no rotors, no exhaust. The pilot saw nothing attached to it. So, what keeps something suspended at altitude with no apparent thrust? Balloons drift. Drones have visible rotors and limited flight time at that altitude. This thing was just there, holding position. That's not how physics works for anything we build. And this isn't a one-off. The Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office documented 757 new UAP reports in their most recent update. A significant portion involved commercial or military pilots encountering objects that shouldn't be there. Objects exhibiting flight characteristics we can't explain. The difference now is that these reports are mandatory. The FAA changed its terminology from UFO to UAP across all official documentation and required air traffic controllers to forward pilot reports to national security teams. This happened quietly, no press conference, no announcement, just an update to federal regulations recognizing these encounters as potential national security concerns. I did an entire video about this. Think about it. The federal government now treats unidentified objects in controlled airspace as something that requires immediate reporting to national security infrastructure. That's not the behavior of an agency dismissing these as weather balloons and misidentifications. That is the behavior of an agency that knows something is happening and needs to track it. But here's the problem. Even with mandatory reporting, most pilots still hesitate to file reports. The stigma remains: career concerns, fear of ridicule, worries about being grounded for psychological evaluation. So what we're seeing in official reports is likely a fraction of what's actually being observed. When the air traffic controller said creepy in response to this pilot's report, it was a rare moment of honesty, an acknowledgement that what was just described doesn't fit the script. And now that exchange is public. Now we can hear the genuine bewilderment in the pilot's voice. The recognition that what he saw doesn't fit into any category he was trained to recognize. So, what do we make of all this? A trained pilot encounters a silver cylindrical object hovering at 3,500 feet over Rhode Island. No wings, no rotors, no visible propulsion. He reports it, calls it astonishing, and even the air traffic controller can only respond with one word: creepy. His report is just one of over 750 similar cases now documented by the Pentagon. Cases that were serious enough to prompt the FAA to mandate reporting procedures. And we're supposed to believe there's nothing unusual happening in our skies, just swamp gas. All these trained observers are mistaken. The federal government implemented mandatory reporting protocols for weather balloons. I don't buy it. The Providence incident is just one data point, but it is part of a larger pattern that's becoming harder to ignore. Cylindrical objects hovering at altitude observed by credible witnesses, documented by federal agencies, and still somehow not treated as the story it clearly is. Whatever that pilot saw hovering off his wingtip, it left him searching for words. Astonishing. Even air traffic control couldn't come up with anything better than creepy. Those aren't the words of people who just saw something ordinary. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the reason these incidents are finally being taken seriously at the federal level is because too many credible people have run out of conventional explanations, like swamp gas, like weather balloons. The skies are full of things we can't identify. And now, at least officially, we're required to pay attention. We're not alone in wondering what's up there. But that's just what I think. I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below, please. And if you like what we're doing here, please like, share, and subscribe. It's free for you, and it really does help the channel grow. Be sure to check out all the links below for other cool stuff as well. And remember, always keep an open mind, but not so open your brains fall out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.